Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing. Today you get to see my ugly mug because I want to talk to you about something that's really serious. As a professional detailer, a mobile detailer, I go through a lot of water. I wash a lot of vehicles. Maybe at the age of 45, I'm starting to think to myself, holy crap, Scott, how much water have you gone through during your career? It's a lot. It's a lot of water. There are folks here in the United States who can't use water to wash their cars. They live in water restricted areas. They can't have any runoff going into the sewage system or into the foliage, right? So they can't use free flowing water is my point. Folks, if we all continue, I know all of us are so worried about getting a small little swirl. God forbid you might micromar the paint. Some of that stuff can come off so easily with the polish, but we're scared to death of these things. So what we end up doing is pre-rinsing the panel, right? Then we get a foam cannon out. We foam up the vehicle. We rinse off the foam. Now we're filling up 2, 3, 4 buckets. Then we're using our power washer during the process. How many gallons of water do you think it will take with a traditional wash method? A power washer, a foam cannon, 3 or 4 buckets. You got to have a rinse bucket. You got to have a wash bucket. You got to have a wheel bucket. Would you be willing to say you're probably using 30, 40 gallons of water even to wash a big truck like this behind me? This happens to be a Texas Edition 4-door Chevy Silverado. It's a big beast. It's a behemoth. I've been washing this truck for quite some time. I have found a way to be able to wash this truck, including the wheels, the tires, and the wheel wells, all the paint, all the glass, meaning the whole exterior, with less than 5 gallons of water. I do it effectively, safely. I'm not seeing any scratches or swirls on the paint. Yes, I'm being awfully delicate along the process too. I'm using a high level of awareness during the process. What I have in my hand is the Kraus & Becker airless paint sprayer. You can buy this at Harbor Freight for about $169. I want to show you how awesome this is. What this is a paint sprayer, right? But we're not going to put paint through it. We're going to put distilled water through it. Over there by the machine, I've got about 4 or 5 gallons of distilled water. It cost me about 75 cents a gallon. In this particular scenario, let's say it was sunny. I'm not going to worry about water spots. In fact, I'm not going to have a drying towel. In fact, I'm not going to use a drying aid. Do you want to know why? It slows me down. I don't want the elbow grease. And really, let's be honest, using a drying aid is great to be able to break the water tension that might be on the panel, but really durability, longevity, gloss and shine is not all that there. You know, it's not there because you're spraying your spray wax or sealant into a debris field of water and it just dilutes the product. So I'm going to apply it when it's dry, when it can bond to the paint better, more durability, more longevity. Here we go. I want to talk about how I use this machine. In my pocket or in my hand, I have Super Clean diluted 3-to-1. If you have traffic film on your car, I recommend you pre-treat the panel with a traffic film remover and then rinse it off. Here we go. I'll show you how this works. Not going to wash the whole truck. Trust me, less than 5 gallons worth of water takes me about 20-25 minutes to do it. I'll just show you a couple of panels. I'll go in here, lightly spray some Super Clean on this panel. Oops, dropped my little towel. That's horrible. Can't use that one again, right? Uh-oh. So here I go, just spray that panel, let that traffic film begin to break down and kind of run off the paint if we can. I'm not working in direct sunlight, so I'll do this panel too. Get it all over there, all that nice goodness. Now what I'm going to do is put my bottle in my little handy detailer's helper that costs about $79. Nope, just kidding, it's my pocket. Now I'm going to rinse off this panel. Let it dwell for about 20-30 seconds. Here's a really good point. Don't be silly, don't be stupid. Don't let it dry in the paint. Now I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off. Now what I'm going to do is take some Wolfgang Uber Rinseless Wash these little microfiber towels have been soaking in this bucket. with Wolfgang Uber Rinseless Wash. If you want to use the big red sponge, of course this is about water, right? Conserving water. Using the big red sponge will be even better because you don't have to wash it. I have to wash about 4 or 5 microfiber towels. That's all it's going to take to wash this truck. Take one side of the microfiber towel, do half this rear panel, and work my way all the way down to the bottom of this truck. All the way down to the worst part, dirtiest, nasty part, right? Flip over to my clean side, do the other side of this panel. Work sideways, not a lot of pressure. Work from the top all the way down. Now what I'm going to do is take my microfiber towel, fold it over so I have 2 more clean sides. Do this other panel. Now what I'm going to do is rinse it off, and I'll tell you why in a second. The reason why I rinse it off is because your wash media may not typically pick up all the grease and grime on that panel. It might get loaded up and you might have some grease and grime, dirt, dust kind of suspended in the fluid. I like to rinse it off because here's the deal, distilled water again, it's my friend. I'm just going to let it dry. I don't have any streakiness from the polymers that are in the rinseless wash. I don't have to worry about it, just rinse it off and continue on. Now what I want to do is the inside of the door jambs. I'm going to open this up. Watch how handy this tool is. I can work around this truck in 20-25 minutes, including the wheels. Just going to lightly spray some super clean on the inside of these door jambs. Also going to do the outside door jambs, right? On the bottom, this is where it really gets nasty, filled with boogers and road stuff and all that great stuff. Now I'm going to take this little paint sprayer. Take my microfiber towel, get my hand out of there, Scott. Make sure I don't have any grease and grime on there, right? Any dirt, because I did drop this, but I'm just touching the inside of the door jambs, not overly worried. Just come in here lightly, just pick up any water that might have gotten on the leather seat, about 3 or 4 drops, not the end of the world. I'm going to dry off the inside of this door, and now I'm going to close the door, and I'm completely done. No, I didn't wash the whole truck, but I think you guys got the point. Folks, this is extremely effective. To be able to wash a huge truck like this with less than 5 gallons of water and about 4 or 5 microfiber towels. If you want to use the big red sponge, I'm all for it. You'll save even more water because you don't have to wash these towels. The other thing is I don't need a power washer. I don't need a CR spotless machine. I don't need to use 20 gallons worth of water, maybe 30 gallons worth of water. I get no water spots. Folks, if you're a professional detailer, people will ask you, what are you doing? You'll attract people to you, especially if you're mobile working in somebody's driveway. They'll say, what in the world is that guy using? Now you can tell them how much you give a crap. Now you can tell them how much you care about this planet. You can tell them, I'm going to wash this whole truck with less than 5 gallons of water because I care. It's an amazing process. It incorporates a couple of different methods of washing, right? You like using water, you got it. You like using pressurized water, you got it. No, it's not 3,000 PSI, but it's a really sweet spot machine to push off debris from the panel. You want no water spots without buying a CR spotless machine, you got it. You want to use 5 gallons to wash a big truck like this or even less, you got it. You want no runoff, not a tremendous amount of runoff, so you're not breaking any laws, you got it. You live in a water restricted areas where you can't use tap water, go buy 4 or 5 gallons worth of distilled water from your grocery store and don't break the law, you got it. The Kraus & Becker $169 machine is an amazing tool and an effective tool for about 80% of us. Yes, there'll be some standouts. God forbid, you gotta have your foam cannons. You gotta have your power washers. I honor it, I respect it. But at some point in time, we all have to ask ourselves how much water is really needed to wash a vehicle. How much water do we need to bleed from the earth before all of us are living in water restricted areas or we can't have any type of runoff? I love you all. I hope this helps you out. Incredibly effective around door jams. Really great around wheels and tires. I happen to like to use a wheel cleaner that reacts on brake dust very quickly, rinses freely without foaming up. It's really a cool, great machine. Get around the truck really, really fast. You can use this indoors. Maybe you live where it's 20 below zero. You want to wash your car inside the garage. Very little water or overspray inside your garage. Great tool for that. In direct sunlight, out of direct sunlight, in the shade. So many different uses for this tool. You can do engine bay cleaning with it. Highly effective. I love you all. Have a great weekend. It's Saturday. Thanks for spending some time with me. I love you all. Talk to you soon.